is your imagination, however, which grants you the strength needed to keep going. You run to the shore. It takes some time before you finally emerge from the woods, but finally, you do it. How much time, you ask? I cannot answer that. Did I not say that time begun to lose all its meaning? The forest is now behind you at least, and all the awful nightmares that lurk within it. Wow, okay, pause. This kind of reminds me of Single Inferno's island for some reason. But like, I think this is a pretty standard island layout, if you will. Standard island layout. It is still cold though, and still foggy. It's still dark too. The sun has yet to rise. You can see the moon more clearly now as it as it hangs above your head, round as any pearl, or orb, or crystal ball. The moonlight shines upon the vertiginous. Whoa, the hell? All right, vertiginous, vertiginous. I'm just gonna assume that's how it's pronounced. Vertiginous cliffs which plummet sharply downwards to an array of sharp, spiky rocks below. He felt, upon escaping the woods, a degree of hope. The sight of these weather-blasted cliffs gives you a pause. You inhale, then you frown. Now, what are you going to do? You did not think this plan of yours through very well. Clearly, because how am I supposed to think I'm tired? Running through these woods, and I don't know why I'm stranded on this island, I guess. Not that you had much in the way of a plan in the first place. There's little in the way of civilization here. Yep. The cliffs are far from the village. How far? You do not know. And you cannot see any houses. Where exactly will you rest your weary head? And what of your weary legs? Fitfully, you look around. There's nobody to your east, nor anybody to your west. There's no point in looking south. That is the way you came. And you look to the north. The world falls away from you. The cliffs are too steep to scale and it's too dark. Naturally, there's not a soul here to help you. You're on your own. You feel so overwhelmed. You could very well cry. You do not cry, however. You know that tears have never helped anyone. You got yourself into this mess. I wonder how. And now you need to get yourself out of it. It is with this thought in mind that you inhale a lungful of salty oceanic water. Then you begin your exploration in earnest. You keep away from the from the edge of the cliff, afraid that you might slip and take a sudden unfortunate tumble into the abyss below. Sorry, this music is kind of distracting. I don't know why it's a bit distracting to me, but I feel like this just a personal opinion does not really fit in my mood right now. Okay, where was I? Afraid that you might slip and take a sudden unfortunate tumble into the abyss below. Let me. You are not as attached to your mortal body as some humans are, but you do not want to die. You still care for yourself, if only a little, and it is this sense of self-preservation which compels you onwards. You glance this way and that, pressing the tall grass beneath your shoes as you search for a place of shelter. Surely there must be somewhere. You cannot see any likely looking settlement, but what is that over yonder? Could that be a roof? Oh, wow. You hurry onwards, hope budding anew in your heart, until, at long last, you reach your destination. There is a small house, after all, out here in the wilds, though it doesn't, at a glance, look very welcoming. The solitary house that you have discovered, not so far from the cliffs, is rather unremarkable. It is so small and squat, you can't imagine it contains within it more than one floor. You cannot even imagine that it contains much more than one room. Though it is dark, it's not dark enough to mask that the cottage has something of a slant to it. It is leaning listlessly onto one side, like a drunken sailor. The thatched roof, meanwhile, which tops this dwelling, has certainly seen better days. There's a hole in the thatch, several holes, in fact, and parts of it look particularly bare, almost bald. It is rather concerning. Should it rain, you will not be properly protected from the elements. Can you really stay the night in such a place? You have some misgivings, but do your misgivings matter really when there's nowhere else to go? It is not as though you have any other options. It is with a sense of defeat. Therefore, you approach the cottage which sticks out of the earth like a tombstone. Part of you wants to turn back, but you know that would be foolish. The windows of the cottage are dark, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's empty. It is rather late at night, after all. Whoever lives here, if indeed anybody does live here, might be asleep. You cannot imagine the owners of this cottage would appreciate being roused so very late at night. You cannot let yourself worry too much about these small details, however. Otherwise, you'll never get anywhere. You swallow. The taste of salty breeze is pungent in the back of your nostrils. Then, you rap the knuckles of your right fist on the door. You rap quietly at first, but you do not hear any resultant shuffling inside the cottage. Perhaps you do not use enough strength. Emboldened, you rap your knuckles on the door for a second time, more loudly this time. You wait a few moments, but still, you cannot hear anything. Perhaps the cottage is unoccupied at all, after all. You knock for a third time, then wait. The third time, as they say, the charm, but for all that, your knocking goes unanswered. Well, nobody can say that you did not try. More intrigued now than anxious, your fingers find the handle of the door. You pull it down, and to your surprise, it yields easily. The door swings back for you, as if by magic. It feels almost like this was preordained. Preordained? Preordained? Ooh, this is a creepy hut. You step foot inside the cottage, which is very dark, and glance around. It is hard to see given the lateness of the hour, but the cottage's interior is about as inspiring as its exterior. Just to say, not very. It is every bit as small and as cramped as you fancied when you observed it from the outside. There are a few cupboards which line the walls, a wood fire which has since been extinguished, and a straw pallet on the floor which must function as a bed. Your search is unsuccessful, however, when it comes to trying to locate other humans. You cannot find another soul. Surely that is to your benefit, though. If nobody else lives here, then you might as well make yourself home. Or as at home as one can be, I suppose, in a cramped cottage, such as this, with holes in its roof. You close the door behind you, then approach the straw pallet, and all of a sudden you feel incredibly weary. The tiredness that assails your limbs is absolute, so intense it overcomes the last of your concerns. You settle down upon the straw pallet, yawning as you do. It is not comfortable, but being able to lie down eases some of your aches and pains. Lying down, even on an uncomfortable makeshift bed such as this one, is better than standing. It is far, far better than running. Your eyelids fall shut, your lashes melting together, and soothed by the sound of the wind and the distant rolling of the waves, you fall asleep. Then you begin to dream. Wow. It is not uncommon, of course, to dream. The best and the worst of us do it, from queens in your castle to peasants sleeping in the straw. Why? Who is to say that you have observed the night as not in a sense been a dream of its own? Would that make your nighttime fancies then a dream inside a dream? Perhaps our dreams are empty, hollow things, stacked inside one another, like little wooden dolls. Is that not a whimsical thought? How very droll. Your dreams, however, cannot be called whimsical, and neither are they particularly droll. They are not pure fabrications as dreams are, fleeting fancies which never come to pass. Your dreams are rather more pernicious sort. In your dreams, you are at the conservatoire, with your red hair, oh, I have red hair, tied back into two prim, proper braids. You're walking through the courtyard, clutching your books to your chest as you make your way to the library. Your head is bowed, so as not to look at the faces of your passing classmates. You do not want to meet their eyes. These girls, with their sensible braids and sensible shoes, are merciless. You hunch your shoulders together in this dream of yours, so as to not draw their attention. But alas, it is not enough. You stumble, clumsy thing that you are, and you fall. And just like that, all eyes are upon you. They are staring at you. They are laughing at you. You lay there on the ground, by the fountain, your books scattered and your skirt in a woeful state of disarray. Your knee hurts. Is it bleeding? You examine your injured leg, try not to cry, and as this transpires, you hear a voice. One of your classmates is calling out to you. She has acknowledged you. You look up shyly, tears beating in your eyes, at a girl taller than you, and prettier, and much more refined. She extends her hand towards you. Does she mean to help you? It cannot hurt to try, can it? Hesitantly, you reach out to accept her offered aid. Her fingers curl around yours tightly. Perhaps too tightly. Her nails dig into your skin. It hurts. Deftly, the girl pulls you to your feet. Your legs feel weak from your fall, and your knees still aching, still bleeding. You stumble, feeling out of sorts. Sorts? Feeling out of sorts? Sorts? Shorts? Sorts? Anyways, you cannot be afforded of much of an opportunity to gather your bearings. The girl's hands are on your shoulders. She's laughing at you. Girl? Then she's pushing you. So you help me up and then you push me again. Okay. The sound of the fountain and the running water which drums against its basin is all of a sudden very loud. It is overwhelming. It surrounds you. Then it engulfs you. It is as cold as ice. You cannot breathe. The rushing of water continues, echoing in your eardrums, over and over. And then, no. You do not want to remember this. What good will it do? It is in the past, where past ought to remain. You are never going to go back, not even in your dream. It is this determination which forces you back into the world of waking with a start. You gasp like a fish as you sit upright, your eyes unnaturally wide. You feel wearied from the lack of sleep, and half-lit eyes you glance about. It is still dark inside your cottage. The sky visible from beyond the windows splashed still with stars. How long were you asleep? You are not sure. Your dream was so very detailed, it really did feel like you have been transported into a different time, into a different place. And I could be like closing my eyes for 5 minutes, bro. Like, I think dreams happen really fast, no matter how long they feel. When you inhale, you can taste rank, tofid water in your mouth. Tentatively, you pat yourself down.